Well, welcome viewers, and welcome Mr. Barry Peatling to the Barry Peatling Cricket Show.
Welcome to you, Colin Sutcliffe, and welcome all my viewers around the world and interstate. It's not a bad sort of a day in Chelsea today.
Very nice.
Bit nippy, but it's a bit of sun coming up. It's not too bad.
Quite mild.
It's still very cold for this time of year, Colin.
So we've got all the highlights, or we're going to talk about the test in a minute.
Talking about Australia's dominance in this test is very, very good. Very good.
Very good. But before we get into that, exciting news. Let's have a look at of years gone by. What have you got for us
I'll be
today,
showing I've got a lot of new viewers the last couple of weeks, Colin, on my YouTube channel, and I've ripped this one out. This is one of my good headlines there.
What's it say? It says Peatling.
Not a bad sort of headline.
Morgan, Star and Rupp win. That's you, Peatling. Who's Morgan? Just for the uneducated.
Champion footballer was Ian Morgan, full forward.
Ian Morgan up in the and this is a particular game where you're faster and fitter, stronger.
Miles too fast, miles too fast.
Dimbula, and this was in the final of some sort.
No, the last home and away game in 1961 by Dimbula at Dimbula.
Featuring a picture of you.
Very young little brat little fella there. Yeah, it was probably 18, 19 taking that photo.
Just a few stats: 19-5 to Rapunya and Dimbula 7-8. You only kicked 7 goals in that.
7 goals straight, Colin. Yeah. Straight, no points.
And you ended up getting best on the ground.
3 votes, got the 3 votes, and that last home and away tally I kicked made me equal second on the win the league goal kick of the season, 60 goals.
Wow.
Which is still a record till this day,
You're
Colin.
6'2", aren't you?
6'2", 5'8".
And there you go. So you got Kevin Northcote. He was also Star Hawthorn player.
Wasn't a star Hawthorn.
Wow,
yeah. Average footballer.
Average footballer.
But he wasn't a star up there either.
Hard working.
He was my other over. Yeah.
Hard working.
Solid, yeah.
Hard working. A type of good
pretty
player.
Tough sort of that. But 19 goals, 5 was pretty good kicker. And here's another photo I found. I got a phone call from my old mate Frankie Gill and his mate Kirk Scott.
Yep.
And that's where we used to kick the football this is back in the 80s, late 80s, down the Richmond Reserve. And there's a little thing on that, there's a competition there, wasn't it? Kick 65 yards?
So it says it's the drop kick 985, drop kick final, and down here 65 yards you won a drop kick at Richmond Reserve football ground. And there was no stab kick.
No, but
they don't use a stab kick anymore, don't they, as well?
Oh, that is right out the game, but still Frankie Gould, that began right. Him and his mate rang him out last night, and talking about us kicking footballs back in the day. That's they come to give me a ring. So I said, well, have a little bit of a look at this YouTube tomorrow, Frankie. You'll see it, get your name mentioned. And he was probably there that day when I was kicking the football. He could kick a drop kick too. I was Frankie Gould, that fast too.
So it's a special shout out.
Yeah, it was pretty good memories.
Very good.
We used to kick that 3 or 4 times a week back.
What's that ground again?
Richmond Reserve.
Richmond Reserve.
And on the side of that Richmond Reserve is Leo Berry's boxing gym, which I used to train at.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, let's get stuck into the cricket then, Barry. How's the viewing? How's Channel 9 going? Well,
before we get into any discussion about the cricket, I must say a few words about Channel 9. Disgusting. I was watching the game on my couch over there, and break in the rain, but of course they come back and I switched the TV on. They were playing, but they went straight to the news. But where was the chance? We was going to win the game in the next half an hour. So what do you think Channel 9 does? Stick to the stupid news, telling about people falling off bikes. And I tell you what, I mean, we haven't won a test for about 4 years, Colin.
Yeah.
And we're when the Verge will win the test, and they go straight to the news.
Yeah, they should have got rid of it.
I mean, they've been going.
They put it on Channel 90 though.
But the night before, they were playing right through the news.
Yeah, that's right.
And yet, there's a chance of winning the game. Whoever's in charge of Channel 9, you ought to be head cut off.
Big mistake.
Martin up.
Now, what was your prediction? What did you think about the first test anyway?
Well, I thought, they could win 5-0 now.
You're very confident.
I reckon England sort of down the dumps, and they're getting a bit. Can't handle the short pitch balls, and they're getting a bit. I don't know. They're not lack of confidence, and I think that. But what did you say about the first test?
Australia were very aggressive.
They're the most aggressive they've been for a long time. They just control the game from start to finish.
They were very aggressive. They went in talking the talk, you know, like, and that was a bit sort of like, oh, I don't know what's going to go here, because they're making all these predictions and say they're going to scare this guy, scare that guy. But they came in and they were aggressive in every aspect, bowling, batting. They wanted to knock their blocks off.
Well, they did. But you asked me before, what was your prediction? My prediction, if people look back last week in my last week's video, my prediction was Australia will win with a half a day to spare. And it was a half a day out, they won with a day to spare.
And they could have won earlier.
And I backed them to $2.80, so it was very nice. So that was a fair sort of prediction.
Good stuff.
Now I'm predicting now they win 5-0.
5-0?
Yep.
Ooh.
I reckon they'll knock them. The bottom out there side, I reckon.
So what the Australian Cricket Board have done, a really smart thing, is, you know where England are going now in between tests?
Who knows, who cares?
I'll tell you what they're going to do, they're going to be playing in Alice Springs.
Send them up there, get them all. They'll come back dehydrated.
Dehydrated and their heads all exploding.
Is that where they're going?
Alice Springs for a 3 or 4 day game.
They've never been. They'll faint.
40 degrees
they'll
up
faint.
there. It'll be.
They'll come back for the next test in
Adelaide. In Adelaide, and it'll be another
45 degrees.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's in about 10 days is the next test in Adelaide. So
they'll come back.
Well done, Australian Cricket Board. Well done.
Well, they might go pack their bag and go home and cotton bombs.
Now, who were the standouts for Australia, Barry?
Well, there's a lot of standouts, Colin. I mean, the opening batsman. So I do think that one fellow is not carrying his weight at the moment, Shane Watson. I think I know they won't change the side, but I reckon that'd be a good idea. They give him a rest and give Jimmy Faulkner a game in the next test. But I don't think they'll do it, but they should.
Yeah, so it should be unchanged because they
made another 50 yesterday.
Because they won, and they don't like changing winning teams, don't they?
No, I know that. That's one of the big factors.
But they've got 9-10 days rest. But
he can't bowl now. He bowled 3 overs and he cracked up.
Oh, I didn't really need to.
Yeah, but he's not. What about if you need him? You can't say, oh, can you go up and put your get under the rail there for half an hour, come in and have a bowl? No, he's not fit enough.
Yeah, it was very good. There was a few standouts. Warner, Mitchell Johnson.
I told you last year he's the #1 Australian opening batsman. He controls the game. That innings was just classed up. Smashed them everywhere.
Yeah, it was very good, very exciting.
He's not a bad fielder either.
Yeah. Any highlights for you, Barry?
Oh, a lot of highlights. Yeah, I'd say another highlight too is he hasn't got much mention. Stephen Smith catching in the slips. He took 2 or 3 catches and no catches dropped.
He's got a little bit of flair about him.
But he had a bit of a bowling, so he's a bit rusty on the bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling half pitches. I mean, anyone else would have smashed him for 6, but they were just terrified then.
Yeah, Mitchell Johnson.
I told you about Mitchell Johnson. He was a superstar 6-7 years ago, and now I said before the game, I said he's lucky to be at the game, and what he's done, he must have watched my video. Barry Petley said, smarten up. He just took over.
He looks like he's so aggressive with his bowling.
He just looks at him like a gorilla.
He's just so mean, and even in his batting, and when he's at the top of his game, he is. Well,
I said before on Monday, once you make some runs, he generally gets wickets. He's a bit of a confidence. What do we call it?
Confidence booster. He's a confidence man.
Something like that. But he was the man of the match, without any shadow of doubt. I hope he got it, did he?
Yeah. What about any other highlights, Barry?
Yeah, of course, Warner. We just mentioned before we were off at the break there, but he's probably getting up behind, not that far behind, out of Gilchrist, because he didn't open in a test, Gilchrist, but he opened in 1 day, but he does it in both ways, both games, names of the game, both, what do you call it, 1 day?
Both forms of the game.
That's the word, forms of the game, and he controls, and I'll tell you who's got to go.
Who?
They won't drop him. Chris Rogers, very, very boring.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
They'll keep the same. I
like to put up, get Watson, now Watson is reasonably fit, get him in with Warner. I mean, if those two get going, I mean, Warner, he might take the back seat to Warner while he's batting, Watson, but Chris Rogers, it was just pathetic. 45 balls for 3 runs.
Nathan Lyon?
Had a bit of a go at him before the test. They must have all watched my video. He is, Swanee is recognised the best spinner in the world. He outspun 20. And he was, what did he bowl, 25 overs and got 30 runs.
Yeah.
He got 2 wickets. Andy Canfield.
He got wickets in the first innings, second innings.
Everyone's stepping up in this Australian team now. There's only Rogers and Watson, but they won't. I don't think
they won't make it.
But Rogers, he's pathetic, mate.
They've got a good mix.
He's worse than Boycott.
Yeah, they've got a fairly good mix. They won't drop Rogers now because he was so good in England.
Well, I don't know what he's doing. What he
and
sort
you
of pills
give him another game. But you want to keep the team stable at the moment. When they're winning, you don't want to rock the boat.
It's probably against the law to drop people when they win, but fair dinkum. No, I was watching that. Roger was so boring. God, I mean, Warner's up the other end, smashed him everywhere, and he wasn't giving him a strike.
Yeah.
That's no good, Colin.
No,
You've got to smart now. Chrissy Roger, hit the ball, get out.
There's your message. Now, where's the next game played at?
Adelaide.
So.
And you were just telling me before we come on air that they're sending the Poms up and Alice Springs to play 4 days. It's about 1,000 degrees up there.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
That'd be great, won't it? Get them all
They
dehydrated.
come back to Adelaide, that's about 40 degrees.
Yeah. They probably won't.
They might complain.
They'll send the other bowlers like Panesar, and they'll send Tremlett and Finn and Bresnan.
I think they should.
They'll send those bowlers up there.
Well, I think they should send Swan up there too. To get a bit of a. I mean, he's the best spinner in the world, Colin. He got treated like a nobody in this test.
Needs a bit of practice.
How many? 133 runs.
Yeah. So that's Adelaide in about 9 or 10 days. We'll give you the updates of other cricket and football for next week. But,
well, I haven't been down to Chelsea to check them out, but I'll try and get down next week and see who's not there and who is there and who's reasonably good. But I'll get in.
See if we can get it for next week.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Because next week's there's not going to be much on next week, so
no.
Need to get some news updates for next week.
That's right. No cricket next week. Yeah.
Now, any Cheerios, Barry?
Got a lot of Cheerios. So
here we go.
Yeah.
Go through them.
I've got Frankie Gould and his mate, little Kirky Scott. They rang up. They just been to a concert. See the Angels down at Werribee, some concert down there. Frankie Gould. Well, I've known him for a long time, and because he was friends of my mates Tony and Paul and Jim Firth, two of them have died. And young David died 18 months ago. Couldn't get to the funeral, but Frankie was there. But I've known Frankie for a long time. He's likes to drink, but keep tuned in, Frankie, and you'll better tune in to the best Rich, because he's a bit of a nostalgic. He knows all the things about history, Frankie. Yeah. So now tune in to my best Richmond side from 1950 to now, Frankie, and you'll see what you think. And give me a ring and let me know what you think of it. Of course, Kirk Scott, he was a good friend of Frankie, and how's it going, Kirk? Look after yourself. And who else I got here? I got because the PH rang up yesterday.
Yeah.
He's doing alright, and he's getting all excited about coming down to Melbourne in late February.
Right.
With Maxie and Long John. So that, and cheerio to Sandy and Carlos.
Yep. And?
Carlos. Who looks after Carlos? Oh, you got, and who else we got here? Oh, I got a couple of friends, new friends in Lisbon. Julie and her daughter Anne.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be tuning in today. I've been talking to them. Who else we got here? Of course, Annie and Carla and Lloyda, Ariane, Jimmy and Marlon and Via. Hope everything's up alright in the Philippines.
Yep.
And that's nearly about all for that's about all. But hope you enjoy it, Annie and Julie and Annie, and they're my new friends on Facebook and here. So that's nearly about all for us today.
That's it for me.
Bye bye for now.
Goodbye.